everybody, and welcome to my channel, All Things Miss Tanita. If you're new to my channel, please remember to subscribe, like, and share some feedback. I love getting feedback. I respond to all of the comments in my comment box. And sit back and let's talk a little bit. Let's have a conversation. Today I want to talk to you about something that is near and dear to my heart. As you can see, the shirt that I'm wearing is All I Need Is God and Therapy. Today we're going to talk about therapy and the stigmas attached to therapy. So stay tuned. Let's just get right on into this. Today I just want to share with you guys, be a little bit transparent about my journey attending therapy. I know a lot of people who are a little bit anxious about going to therapy. They're on the fence about going to therapy, and because there's so many stigmas and myths that are attached. Most of the times those things are coming from people who have never gone themselves. So always pay attention to the source of the information. When people say, you know, I don't see how you can go and talk to somebody about your business. I'm not going to be talking to, I don't need to talk to someone that I don't know about my business. Sometimes it's the best person to talk to is someone who doesn't know anything, who won't come in with a bias, who's not judgmental, who will not tell anyone what you've shared with them. So I am a strong believer in God. I am a strong believer in prayer. But what I do know is that God also provided people in way of experts that are put on this earth, that are placed on this earth to be able to serve in the role of therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, to be able to help people just like you and me that may be struggling with maybe a traumatic, significant event that has happened in your life. And so I strongly believe in it. I went to therapy my first time many years ago after getting a divorce. I was going to be a single mom of 3, and I was trying to balance life. That was a significant traumatic event, not because the marriage was coming to an end, because I was so ready for the divorce. I had already disconnected myself while I was still married. And so it wasn't really about the divorce. It was about the events and the consequences of the divorce. And also, I was in the military. I still am, but I was serving at the time. I had my 3 sons. I was serving on a very stressful work environment on a med-surg floor where there was a lot of death and dying. So I had no outlet. There was no break or reprieve for me. So I would go to work. I would be stressed out. I would see people dying every day, young people, and then I would go home to the stressful environment. So there was really no balance for me. So I became very overwhelmed. And a close friend at the time recommended to me that I go seek therapy. I had never ever thought about therapy in the past because growing up, it was always looked or frowned upon. Like people who go see a therapist, you're laying on a couch. That's not the case. You're usually sitting up in a chair. But anyway, they always associated with someone who is crazy, quote unquote. And they also associated with you're going to be on medications. So I'm here to tell you that that is so far from the truth. You don't have to take medication just because you're going to a therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist. If you need medications, that is between you and that provider. That's something that you talk about. That's not something that's forced upon you. The other thing is I would recommend it because therapy is a great outlet for healing. I would say pray about everything. If you're a believer, whoever you pray to, I would say pray about it. And also make sure you seek out a very good therapist. So it could come by way of recommendation, or you can do your homework and research and go on a few consultations. And if you prayed about it, when you go in to see these people, you may or you should feel some kind of connection or disconnect. And so for some of us who have a high discernment, you can tell by the energy that the person gives off if you think that's a good fit for you. And if not, you may have to attend a couple of sessions before you know. But it's very important to be able to connect with your therapist. because some people have gone to therapy. They've had not so great experiences. Maybe it wasn't necessarily the therapist, but whatever happened, the experience was not what they expected. And so they're so against it, they speak against it. I'm an advocate for therapy because therapy works. So here it is, fast forward many, many years later. I'm in a very, very happy marriage. My children are all grown, but I'm in therapy. Why is that? Because in my lifetime, I have experienced a few traumatic, significant events. Those events could be whatever. It could be from your something happening with one of your children, with one of your grandchildren. Maybe something happened to you when you was a child and it just came up, as an adult. My mom died when I was 2 years old and she was 16, so I never knew my mom. I did not grieve my mother until I was about 35 years old. And when I grieved her, I truly grieved her. And I ended up going to therapy even for that. In therapy, he helped me to cope. He helped me to work through my feelings and to be able to process those feelings and to have some resilience so that I can begin my journey to healing from my mom's death that I never grieved at the age of 2 because I could not understand it. So sometimes things will come up years later, things that you feel like you've gotten past, or maybe you've suppressed them, and then something can happen in your life that triggers those emotions to come back up. And sometimes, you may be resilient enough to handle it, and sometimes it could become very, very overwhelming. So it is times like that that I would recommend that if you have access to going to therapy, I would say go. Whether it be through your insurance, whether it be through your church or a community organization that may offer it for free, I would say seek out your healing as soon as possible. Again, therapy has all of these stigmas. I would say ignore the stigmas. A lot of times, again, people say things that they've never experienced before. I remember when I first was about to join the military, and so many people said that I was crazy because I was 27, and they was like, why would you join the military? It's a white man's military. Women are not even wanted in the military. And every single person that tried to talk me out of it had never served in the military. They based it on things that they heard, nothing that they had experienced. So always pay attention to the source of your information, especially when people are trying to talk you against something that could very well be beneficial to you. Currently, I have been attending therapy for the past 2 years. Right at 2 years, because it was when I was in Korea, and I'm still going now. And I go every 2 weeks. I was diagnosed with a mild case of depression, anxiety, and PTSD. So dealing with those things, and I'm not going to go into details of exactly what happened, but dealing with those things became very overwhelming, being that I am a soldier, being that I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a grandmother. I wear many, many hats. And I just want you to know today that it is okay to not be okay. But the first step is to admit that you're not okay, and then to get help. There's nothing wrong with it. It's going to help to heal you and make you better, regardless of what anyone else says or thinks. You don't have to share if you don't want to share. That is between you, God, and your therapist. I don't mind sharing because I want to be an advocate and help other people to know that looking at me, maybe you may not think it, or maybe you would, I can't believe she goes to therapy. Well, I'm telling you, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. I go, and I go faithfully. I have a very good relationship with my therapist, and I look forward to our sessions. Again, she's not biased towards anything I say. She's not judgmental. We've actually developed a relationship. She gives me homework. There's things that I have to work on because I always want to be the best me every day. And just like we get sick with a cold or any other type of illness, and we go to the doctor when we're not feeling well, our brain gets sick too. So sometimes you have to take your brain to the doctor as well. So again, I would say to you, if you feel like something has happened and you just cannot shake the feeling, or you're finding yourself emotional or crying or just having these uncontrollable feelings about it, please stop what you're doing. Don't worry about calling another person. Begin to seek out a therapist. And if you're able to go, then please go. So that's my stem on it. I will do a part 2 to this video, but I really need to hear from you guys, and just I just want to hear, what do you think? What would you like for me to make future videos about? What type of content would you like? Please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Again, I respond to every single comment on my page. I appreciate you all. And again, thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself, purpose chasers. Continue to walk in your purpose. If you have not identified your purpose, please pray about it. Identify your purpose. What is that one thing that drives you? Where is that passion coming from? What is that one thing that keeps you up all night? What is it that God is speaking to you about? And just do it. So that's all for me. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Take care. God bless.